the other big issue has to be Venezuela, so I wanted to leave time to talk about some of those issues and also the kind of questions, more of them surrounding Hegseth, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense. So the Venezuela thing is still on the second strike. This Admiral Bradley is going to testify tomorrow. And also, although we've gotten a look at it today, it's been released, through sources on Capitol Hill. This IG report on those signal messages that Hegseth and all of them are involved in is coming out. And that doesn't look good for Pete Hegseth either. Part of it says that he risked endangering troops by sending war plans and what have you through this Signal app. So what would you say about the Secretary and how his kind of week is playing out?
He is embattled. He's had the worst week of his career. The incident where he put on confidential information on a commercial website that was easily obtainable by a foreign intelligence agency that happened during the beginning days and weeks of his tenure. It's clear now that the information that he shared with his pals in that willy-nilly way could have been damaging, potentially time of strike. The aircraft involves things of that nature. Very serious intelligence breach. I don't, however, know of anyone that took advantage of that intelligence breach. So I think that the much more current threat facing Pete will be whether or not he told the truth when he said he only saw the video of the first boat strike. He did not see the second video, he claims, because he was busy elsewhere.
Right, but what if he gave the order at the beginning, right? Even if he didn't stay for the second video, if he just said, kill everybody, that's still the order, right? Or could be,
Well, it depends. I was just kidding, says Pete in his defense. About
that's a tough one.
Kill them all. Just like when he sent the ill-advised emails or text messages to his buddies, he also at one point said we just hit him with an attack and had an emoji with showing the muscle emoji, showing the American strength. But going back, blowing up these boats, I tell you again and again, the law of the seas, pirates get what they deserve, but that's different than a survivor clinging to the gunwale of a crippled vessel, obviously not representing a threat. But I think going back to the real question of who will be the one, responsibility roulette. Who is the last one standing?
Yes, where does the buck
safe
stop?
Harbor, and
right.
Where does the buck stop? And it seems it's stopping at Admiral Bradley. That's why I have proposed today that President Trump should pardon Admiral Bradley right now. Give him a pardon. He's an incredible soldier, a hero, a fitness example, just someone whose courage is boundless, whose service to his nation has been unblemished. And for him to be yelled at by rookie Congress people who never served a day in combat, I think is very unfortunate. If I was the president, I'd say I'm giving him a pardon for anything if he will accept the pardon. He's such a great soldier, he probably wouldn't even accept it. But I think that it is a scandal that the person that it most likely be the last one who doesn't have a chair to sit in the game of musical chairs. I think to hold him responsible is really reprehensible.
Interesting,
and, it's a cheap shot.
Already pardoning a Democratic congressman, pardoning an ex-president of Honduras convicted of running drugs, pardoning the finance guy. All those people have already been pardoned. He said he didn't even know him. Hey, real quick, we got to take a break. We haven't taken a break in forever with Trump on live, but he's going to go in, he says, with land strikes in Venezuela. It was pretty clear there. What he just said, he said it again. That's coming soon.
Very briefly, and the United States found out the last time in Venezuela where we had some hope that the forces of democracy were resurgent, and then in the last election they won. They beat Maduro. They beat the socialists, the communists. They beat them at the election. Nothing matters but the Venezuelan military. What does the Venezuelan military want? If the Venezuelan military wants Maduro to stay in power, he will stay in power. If the Venezuelan military wants him out of power, he will be out before you can say his name.
Right.
They control everything. They are not high visibility as they are in many other countries. But trust me, in Venezuela, it is the military that has the first and final say. They go together.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.